Hello everyone, this is Micah here. I'm going to do a review on the card game Rune Age. So Rune Age is a deck building game, up 2 to 4 players, and there are aspects of it that are also solitaire. So the cool thing about Rune Age is it's basically 4 games in one. You've got different types of games you can play. You can do fully cooperative, you can do fully competitive, you can do like a boss battles, and then there's one that's has to do with like currency, so like trying to get the most money type of a thing. So just because of that alone, it's got some pretty good replayability. With that said, I will open it up and show you what's inside. Okay, to start out, you'll pick one of these 4 different factions. Basically what you have here is got the undead, the elves, chaos, and the humans. Each one plays differently. If there were similarities with the factions, the humans and the undead are similar, but they are definitely not the same, and their tactics would definitely be different, depending on which deck you played. Next, what we have is gold. You got a 1 gold, a 2 gold, and a 3 gold. And so basically everyone starts out with 1 gold, and then as the game progresses, we can upgrade to get 2, and then eventually 3 gold to buy more units. So gold is mainly used just to buy units from your character pile. That's how gold works. And then I will go on to show you how influence works. So in this game, you have what are known like cities. You have cities. In these cities, when you conquer the city, you get what is known as influence. With influence, you basically buy whatever is left that is not covered by gold. So gold, the gold just buys units from your own personal faction deck, whereas influence will buy cards in the middle. Here's some examples of cards that are in the middle. Right here we have a neutral unit, and here we have a neutral tactic. So how this would go is if you buy this unit, you have to pay that much influence. So 6, you'd have to pay 6 points of influence. So as you can see here, this city alone would cost 3 influence, so you'd have to tap 2 of these type of cities that cost 3 to be able to purchase this 1 card. So same thing with this. Tactic cards, usually they tell you when they can be played. Sometimes they're in combat, sometimes they're at the beginning of your turn, so you just have to read the cards to know how they work. So I will set up an example of a game and go from here. Okay, I hope you can see all this. This game does take a lot of table space, so that's a forewarning. Once you get your chosen faction, you want to take each of the units and put them into piles based on their power. So we have a pile of 1 power, 2 power, 3 power, and 4 power. And throughout the game, you'll be purchasing units from this pile, and you'll be putting it in a discard somewhere. And as the game goes, you'll build and build these units. So you put all the units into piles, and then you put your strongholds into another pile, and then somewhere on your side you also want to put your home realm card. You can tell because it has a 20 on the bottom right of the card. So that's your that's actually your hit points. So once you take 40 wounds, here's a bag of wounds that you can use to keep track. Once you take 20 wounds, you are removed from the game. It's game over. So also, a lot of the factions, all the factions, come with this card. It's called called your monument, or your faction's monument. You only use this card for one of the game types, so a lot of the times you'll just have to remove it from the game. So that's what I'm doing right now. The game type I chose is called the Dragon Lord scenario, and my goal is to take out their boss, this guy, and once I can kill this guy, to defeat him with this 18 power, then I win the game. So you got your own personal faction stuff here, and then you have basically what I call the neutral zone. So all of this is the neutral zone. So players can only pick from their own specific factions, but any player can choose what's in the neutral zone. So to start out, each player takes 5 of the 1 golds, 3 of their 1 powers, and they put them together and shuffle it up to make their draw pile. So once the draw pile runs out, you shuffle the draw pile again, and I should say how a turn works is you have basically 4 steps. You can spin gold, you can spin influence, you can play any card with the word action on it, and 4th thing you can do is go into combat. So these phases you can do in any order, but you have to complete each one. You can't skip between phases at your own whim. You have to do each one in order. So for example, for a first turn, I'll draw 5 cards from my 8-card deck and take my turn. So what I have is I have 3 foot soldiers and 2 gold. So what I can do is I can spin my 2 gold. When I spin gold, I put it in a discard pile. Put it in the discard pile to purchase either 2 1 power units, or I can spend it to get a 2 power unit. So say I want to spend the 2 power unit. This unit would also go into my discard pile, and I would basically get him later. So that's been done. I don't have any influence, and I don't have any cards with action on it, so the only thing left I can do is go into combat. So what can I attack? Well, I can either attack one of my strongholds to obtain it, which would give me influence on the top, or I could try to shoot for taking a city. The city would give me more influence, but is a lot more vulnerable than the stronghold. So either or. So what I'll do is I'll go and attack the stronghold. So I'll play a card, play another card. That's enough to get a stronghold. Whenever you get a stronghold, you put it next to your homeroom card, your life card, basically. So you put it next to your homeroom, discard the cards that you used, and then my last card, I'm going to use his special ability. Whenever each unit has a special ability, so I'm going to use his special ability, which says, when I play this card, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a footman, draw it into your hand, otherwise discard it or place it on top of your deck. So I will attack Stronghold again, which will let me draw the top card, but it is not a footman, it's a 1, so I would not be able to use this power. So that guy is discarded. And now I draw back up to 5 cards, and once you run out, then you shuffle and draw back up to 5. And then once your turn occurs, the event card will be chosen. So the first card is the level 1 with the 1 dot here, and it says Bountiful Harvest. It says, first player draws 1 card, each other player draws 2 cards. So this is a 1-player game, so this card would not be in this game. But if I was playing with other people, we could use this card. And it's pretty much a good card, but eventually we'll be fighting dragons. So this dragon, he has a benefit of 1 gold, so I can use this card for 1 gold once I obtain him. And to defeat him, I have to attack with, I believe this is 6. But another thing to add in, whenever you attack a creature, a enemy, you have to roll this attrition dice. Whatever you roll, that's how many units get killed. So if you roll 1 skull, 1 unit dies, and if you roll 2 skull, 2 of your units die. But you can also roll a blank, so that nothing happens. So you roll the die, and you take whatever results you get. So, how events work is most events have a 1 dot and a 2 dot. So once you get done with your 1 dots, you go on to 2 dots, and then once the 2 dots get completed, you cycle through again with the 2 dots. So usually, once the cards run out, you keep on going. The game does the drawing cards from the event deck does not stop. So this game has received mixed reviews. So I personally like this game. It's really fun. You get to kind of, although it's sort of set in stone how your faction work, you can kind of go about it a different way. So if I were to play as the humans like I'm playing like I showed right now, I could play humans different from another person, even though playstyle would be very similar. I think it's a really good game. I think it's got a good replay. It has a good replayability. It's pretty varied. It's 4 different games in one. So each person will find a different game. Like, I prefer the game that I showed you right here. It's called the Dragon Lords, Rise of the Dragon Lords. It's the one of the games I was talking about. Or my other friend, he likes the co-op one. So it varies. With people. So I really like that in the game too. But I guess negatives. I could see someone probably saying that all the game types are fairly similar. Like, the cooperative one probably could be more cooperative, whereas maybe the Gold Rush is not as hard or something like that. I mean, I like the game, so it's hard for me to find faults in it, but that might be what some other people are saying about it. So I believe that's it. So this game's I guess it's fairly cheap for its size. I got it for about $35, so that's what the retail price is for it. So I encourage you to check this game out, see what you think for yourselves. So thanks, guys.